Hi, everyone, and welcome to our live event as part of Joy at UofT. I'm Umber, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a Master's of Education student and a peer supporter with Health and Wellness.
Hi, I'm Kamilah. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm pursuing my undergraduate degree. I'm part of the Healthy You crew, which is a group
And
of
welcome to our
students that
live
work
event.
on health education and promotion.
Hi, I'm Alec. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm pursuing my Master's of Teaching. I'm a peer mentor with the Center for Learning Strategy Support.
Today, we'll be discussing how to balance academics and well-being and what that might look for you.
To start us off, Kamilah, since you're an undergrad and unlike us grad students, you have a reading week coming up. What do you have planned for it?
I'm so ready for reading week. I'm going to be traveling to the UK and meeting up with some friends who have been studying in different parts of the world. We're going to London, Oxford, Edinburgh, and I'm so excited to be there and catch up with so many friends I haven't seen in a while. It's so nice to have that trip to plan and think about, especially because Toronto in the winter can be kind of depressing.
That sounds like such a great thing to look forward to.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to see it in my calendar as a reminder of what I'll be doing once I get through this week. Even if you aren't going somewhere over reading week, I think it's great to have something to look forward to, whether that's an event or just catching up with friends. I think reading week is also a great time to kind of reset some habits like cutting down on coffee and alcohol, prioritizing sleep, and trying to learn some healthy recipes that you can easily whip up when classes start again.
That's a great point about having a chance to reset some healthy habits. I also think it's a chance for a lot of us to reset some of our academic habits. And on February 13th, we're running a workshop called Getting Ready for Reading Week to help students think about how to balance productivity and other things in our life that bring us joy. What about you, Amber? Like me, you don't have a reading week. So what's bringing you joy these days?
I just have to say, Camilla, I'm so jealous of your trip. But for me personally, I've been trying to enjoy the outdoors whenever I can. Lately, I've been tubing, which is a great way to get your mind off things. You can't really think about schoolwork or what stresses you out when you're tumbling down a hill. But even just being outdoors and in nature can have such a positive impact on your mood and your mental health. There are some great nature spots on campus like Philosopher's Walk, Queens Park, Victoria College, and the University College Quad. There are also some beautiful spots close to campus like Grange Park. And if you can't get outside, even looking at pictures of nature on your computer can transport you there for just a few moments. How about you, Alec? What's bringing you joy?
One of the things that works for me is taking it slow and paying attention to what brings me joy. Taking breaks and just being mindful of how you're spending your time can really help you make space for the things that bring you joy. It's really easy to overbook yourself with academic goals or social commitments and stretch yourself way too thin. Making a schedule where I add time for work, break, and other activities helps me balance school and the rest of my life. Always making sure to schedule time for myself to do something simply because I enjoy it. But some things that are bringing me joy lately are spending time with friends or enjoying a good cup of coffee. I'm really just trying to enjoy those things and show gratitude for them.
I'm so glad you brought up spending time with friends, Alec. It's so important, especially as busy students. It can be hard sometimes to remember to connect with friends. I know that I've personally experienced that myself, but connecting with others can be it can be very important for your wellness, especially during times of high stress. Something I've fallen into the trap of thinking is that there's a trade-off between being productive and socializing, but in reality, taking a break to socialize and connect with others can actually boost your productivity in the long run rather than harm it. Like I mentioned, I'm a health and wellness peer supporter, and I'm so grateful to have the chance to offer support to other students. So connecting with friends is great, but students can also connect with peers like me if they ever want to talk about their mental health, academic stress, relationship issues, or even if they're looking for help reaching out and reconnecting with friends they maybe haven't talked to or seen in a while. We're a drop-in service, so you don't need to book an appointment, and we're in 3 locations across campus from Tuesdays to Fridays between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. We'll also be taking a break for reading week so we can take some rest and recharge.
I think that's such a great reminder that to show up for other people, we need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. Self-care is so important and it's something that looks different for everyone. Going on a walk, taking a shower, playing with a dog can all be part of self-care. For me, trying to incorporate mindfulness is an important part of my self-care. Mindfulness really helps to ground us in present moment and be more in tune with ourselves and our surroundings. Whenever I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, I can find it very difficult to remain in the moment, and I often catch myself thinking about upcoming deadlines or what I need to do later that day. Especially being a student, our minds are constantly on overdrive, which can really impact how we're feeling and our stress levels. I know it can sometimes be daunting to start practicing mindfulness, but the Multifaith Center actually runs drop in mindful moment sessions. They're instructor guided, which means that you have the ability to go at your own pace and self reflect. You don't need to sign up, but they all have the drop in times and locations on Folio. Heart House also does free drop in Pilates classes every Wednesday. So it's also a great way to meet new people and take some time for yourself and let your body relax.
For me, engaging with art and culture from all over the world is a very important part of my own self-care. It gets my mind off school and makes me feel free of some of the other stresses in my life and connects me to my creative side. We're so lucky at U of T to have some great museums and art galleries nearby. And with a T card, you can actually get into the ROM for free on Tuesdays. And if you're under 25, the AGO is free every day. And if you're over 25, it's free the first Wednesday of every month from 6 to 9 p.m.
For me, I love talking to new people and trying new things. I think that we often feel that everything that we do needs to serve a larger purpose or has to be a resume builder. UFT has such a culture of perfectionism and competition. So I'm looking forward to a health and wellness workshop called Hacking Perfectionism. That's all about challenging those thoughts. And the next session for grad students is on February 24th. A flip side to perfectionism is that knowing we aren't perfect can lead us to feel like an imposter at UofT, where everyone's supposed to be perfect and the best. There's also a workshop called Managing Imposterism that's being offered for undergrads on February 13th and for Black students on February 25th. Personally, I think if something's worth doing, it's worth doing terribly. Stepping outside of your comfort zone or just trying something you've never done before can be really fun. Life as a student is about creating new experiences and growing as a person.
That competitive culture at U of T is so true, Amber. It can make you feel like you can't take a break and you just need to push through when you feel overwhelmed. I've experienced this myself and it just leads to burnout. One of the tough things about burnout is that you can experience it without necessarily recognizing it. If you find yourself struggling to stay motivated and find the energy to keep on track with your assignments, these could be signs of burnout. When I feel burnt out, I take some time to do something kind for myself. We also run a program called Boost Your Motivation that could be helpful to find different ways of staying on track that are authentic to your own values and sense of purpose. And the next one is this Friday, February 14th.
I think that knowing what mental health resources and supports are out there can be helpful for a lot of students dealing with burnout too. I know that when I get overwhelmed, it can be really hard to think about or recognize the strategies, skills, or resources that can help us. One option is going to workshops like Better Coping Skills, which are offered every week, and can be really helpful because I sometimes fall into the mindset you mentioned, Alec, that I just need to push through or about this more and the solution will present itself somehow. But the reality is that we all need support sometimes. Accessing the peer support service can also be really helpful if you're stressed, just need to vent or want some want to learn more about resources.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what kind of help you need, peer support is great. And some other awesome services are Navi, our research navigation tool, which is virtual, or calling into Health and Wellness at 416-978-8030, where you can register yourself as a patient and book a same-day appointment to speak to a counselor. Counselors are available Monday to Friday from 9 to 5, and you can make appointments until 7 p.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. You can also call TELUS Health Student Support, which allows you to speak to someone right away. I've used them myself, and having someone to listen patiently while I speak about why I'm spiraling in that moment was really helpful. Sometimes just having someone to talk to is so helpful.
There are also some learning strategies that can help push back against that mindset that you just need to push through work. We run study hubs, which are 2 hour group study sessions, kind of like a co-working group that you can access online. It's split into two 50-minute study sessions with a 10-minute break in between, so you can practice some of the strategies to take breaks that we talked about earlier. At the beginning of each session, a student peer mentor will help you set an achievable study goal for the next 2 hours. No matter what you need to complete, setting SMART goals or goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, rewarded, and time-bound can be highly effective. Our mentors have useful academic resources on hand as well, just in case you need them. There are also the queer study buddies in person on Fridays, which are open to 2S LGBTQIA plus people and allies. And one thing I find helpful about the study hubs is that everyone is there for the same reason to study, which seriously boosts motivation and helps keep everyone focused and on track with achieving their goals. It can also be nice to connect with peers during the break time and forge new friendships, especially with those who are studying similar things.
I think that's so great because time management can be a bit of a challenge, especially if you tend to use procrastination as a way to deal with stress. You may have heard that procrastination has something to do with lack of self-discipline or laziness, but this isn't true. Procrastination often occurs because we want to avoid negative emotions surrounding a task, including stress and anxiety. However, when we do procrastinate, we often end up feeling more stressed and anxious afterwards. One thing that's helped is to use Notion to help me organize my tasks so I stay on track with what I need to do and hopefully avoid some academic stress. As a UofT student, you can get the pro version of Notion for free.
That's a great way to use AI to help you learn better, Camila. If you want some more support, we also offer a workshop that can help you organize your tasks called Catching Up on Classes. That will be on February 18th, where a peer mentor like me helps students make a personalized plan to break down coursework. There's a strategy called time batching that I really like because it involves dividing and grouping tasks based on their similarities. It's something that I use to ensure that I'm finding enough time for both my work and for things that bring me joy. One useful tip is to prioritize your tasks by putting them with their deadlines into a calendar. That way you can see what you need to do and start to think about how much time you need to give yourself to complete each task. If you can break down your bigger tasks into smaller steps, that's even better because it's always easier to take things one step at a time than try to do everything at once. If you're looking for help with these strategies, a great resource that students can access are one-on-one appointments with a peer mentor or learning strategist to help them develop strong prioritization skills. Since it can be a difficult skill to master, we actually run a time management boot camp pretty regularly, which can be really helpful for learning how to manage your time effectively.
Those are great tips, Alec, and I can definitely see how they would also help with procrastination, which is something I've also struggled with. Personally, I found that setting up my workspace, putting away my phone, and starting with the easiest task on my to-do list can help too. On that note, I'm really excited about a workshop called Why I Can't Focus during Reading Week on February 19th, which is all about inattention and how to regain focus. If you find that you're struggling with procrastination, this is a great opportunity to build on your prioritization skills and learn strategies to help you stay focused. As we come to the end of the session, it is important to note that how you balance school, work, and joy in your personal life is always changing and can look different for everyone. Everybody goes at their own pace, so finding a couple of things that bring you joy and help you find balance can be a great takeaway from today.
Definitely. And you also don't have to try to use all these tools all the time and all at once. There are a lot of supports and options available because everyone is different. I hope today you learned about one or two resources that will help you.
All right, let's see if we have some questions in the chat. Okay, so if there is no other questions, thank you all for joining us today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.